I never imagined myself at my stepbrother's wedding, especially since he was the one who made my life miserable for years. His name is Mark, and he bullied me endlessly when we first became a blended family. From constant teasing to pushing me around at school, Mark took every opportunity to make sure I knew where I stood beneath him. So, when my mom and stepdad told me that I had to attend his wedding, I was furious. "It's for the family," my mom said, her voice pleading. "We can't have people talking about why you're not there." I argued with her, trying to make her understand. How could she ask me to celebrate the wedding of someone who treated me like dirt? But she insisted that this was about saving face and presenting a united family front. Reluctantly, I agreed. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. There was a gnawing feeling in my gut that this wedding was going to be more than just an awkward reunion. I just didn't know how. The day came faster than I expected, and before I knew it, I was sitting in a car with my mom and stepdad, heading to a grand venue. It was in the countryside, a lavish estate that screamed money and luxury. As we pulled up, I saw people milling around in fancy clothes, laughing and taking pictures. Everyone seemed happy, except me. I stepped out of the car and adjusted my dress. My heart raced with a mix of anger and anxiety. I wanted to turn back, to flee, but it was too late. Mom had already rushed ahead, gushing over the flower arrangements as if nothing was wrong. Mark greeted us with a smug smile. He was wearing a perfectly tailored tuxedo, looking every bit the part of the charming groom. But I knew better. That smile was a facade, hiding the same cruelty he'd shown me for years. He pulled me into a quick, forced hug. "Glad you could make it, sis," he said, his voice dripping with fake sincerity. I clenched my fists but forced a smile, not wanting to cause a scene. The ceremony itself was like something out of a movie. The bride, Lily, was stunning in her flowing white dress. The vows were heartwarming, and everyone in the audience was either teary-eyed or beaming with joy. Everyone except me. As I sat there, watching them exchange rings, memories of Mark's bullying flashed through my mind. I felt like a prisoner, trapped in a nightmare where I had to pretend everything was fine. But something strange happened during the reception. As the night wore on, I noticed whispers among the guests. People were glancing my way, some looking concerned, others curious. I thought it was just in my head until one of the bridesmaids approached me. "You're Mark's stepsister, right?" she asked, her voice hesitant. I nodded. She leaned in closer. I don't know how to say this, but I've heard things about Mark. Bad things." My heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" The bridesmaid glanced around nervously before lowering her voice.
"He's not who he says he is."
"A few of us have heard rumors that he's been hiding something, and it's serious." Before I could ask her more, she hurried away, blending into the crowd. I felt my stomach twist with unease. Was this some kind of prank? Or was there something bigger going on? As the night dragged on, I decided to confront Mark. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. I found him at the bar, laughing with his groomsmen. "Mark," I said, trying to sound calm, "we need to talk." He gave me a look of irritation but followed me to a quieter corner of the venue. "What's this about?" he asked, crossing his arms. I hesitated, but the words spilled out.
"People are talking about you, Mark.
They're saying you've been hiding something. What's going on?" For a moment his face darkened, but then he smiled, a twisted, cold smile. "So you've heard, huh? Well, I guess the secret's out. But don't worry, sis. It's not something you need to worry about." He started to walk away, but I grabbed his arm. "Tell me."
"Now."
Mark's smile disappeared, replaced by a look of disdain.
"Fine.
You want the truth? I'm not the good guy everyone thinks I am. I've been covering up some mistakes, but it's nothing you can prove. So stay out of it or you'll regret it." I was stunned. All these years, I had thought Mark was just a cruel bully, but now I realized there was something much darker lurking beneath the surface. I wanted to scream, to expose him in front of everyone, but I knew I couldn't do it without proof.
"Not yet."
As the wedding drew to a close, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let Mark get away with whatever he was hiding. I would dig deeper, find the truth, and make sure everyone knew who he really was. But for now, I had to play the part of the dutiful stepsister. As I walked back to my mom and stepdad, I couldn't help but wonder, what was Mark hiding? And how far was he willing to go to keep his secrets buried? One thing was for sure, this wedding was only the beginning.